paper falls.
All right. Any volunteers to go first? Lauren? All right, come on up. Well, you might, I'm guessing we'll probably run out of time since we've only got about 20 minutes today. So we might have to have some of you go on Monday, if that's okay with you.
Hey, mine's about a man in prison in Ohio that was executed with new, lethal drugs. And it was kind of weird because he killed a woman 25 years ago and they're just now doing it, so I don't know exactly what the deal was. But I think what was really sad was his kids were watching. He was in a room and through a window his kids were watching and he could talk to them. I don't know, it was really sad, but I thought it was interesting that they were executing people with drugs now.
What's this man, what did he do?
He raped and killed a woman.
Oh,
25 years ago.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is it isn't it an ear a needle that is it
I don't know, it didn't
slow or-
say, but it said it took 25 minutes though. But I think it wasn't really painful, because, I don't know, they just said he was breathing and then he just coughed and then they said 10 minutes later he was pronounced dead.
I know that the one that we use here is they inject it into you and it hurts really bad and it just goes through all your veins and slowly kills you.
Well, sometimes it doesn't work right the first time.
It's Mr. Lab's.
Yeah.
That's
It's terrible.
yeah,
But that
it's very
sounds a little
inhumane.
bad.
I just really don't
Yeah.
I don't like thinking about death punishments, but I feel if we're gonna do it, why not just shoot them because it's faster then?
Yeah, that's,
Instead of doing
I mean,
something that
if
might
I
not
had to
work.
be killed, I'd probably
People
kill that
don't.
she's got to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's that's true. Hi.
You're on camera.
It's history.
History, oh,
Hi.
what's up?
Helen's coming,
Oh, yeah.
and I told her to be here at 11:30,
Okay.
but that is part of your 7th period.
Sure.
What do you have 7th?
I have French too. I mean, it's fun.
Will it be okay to
Yeah.
have French from 11:30 to 11:45?
Sure.
Can you do it for 15 minutes? That'll give Helen
Sure.
time to get situated,
Sure.
and then I'm very, very sorry.
That's all right.
Thanks, Lori.
Okay. Yeah, so Paige, you were saying that, if we, I guess kind of the lesser of two evils, if we have to do, if we have to do, executions, that seems like such a, an archaic word, but yeah, if we have to do, death penalty, apply the death penalty to people, it'd be maybe, why do you think we don't shoot people?
Some people don't like the idea of being the one to shoot them.
Yeah.
I know firing squads where one gun doesn't have a bullet in it, so you can always just convince yourself that you were the person who didn't actually shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that's kind of a lot of work to go to every time, but we're still talking about the person.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it said something about
Right.
legally they weren't allowed to do anything that was painful or something to him, that caused him pain.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they just put him to sleep kind of. I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, it could be. Interesting. Thanks, Lauren.
Okay.
Yeah.
My article is about a student from Northam. His name is Salem, and excuse my butchering of his last name, Yabayari. It's a little hard to, but basically he lost over 100 pounds. He used to look like this 2 years ago, and now he is 105 pounds, which is incredible.
Wow.
And I mean, he's
That's very tiny.
he was saying that he wanted to gain muscle, so that he was working out Park VY. And I just thought this story was incredible because he always kept giving himself excuses as to why he didn't need to do it, and he always felt sluggish, and people used to call him names, and he was tired of that, so finally he decided to make the decision to lose the weight. And his first time he stepped on treadmill, he ran, I think, 1/10 of a mile, which is, not a lot. But now he can easily run 3 miles in, 10 minutes or something like that. And I don't know, he, switched out his diet for more healthy options, and he really committed to what he was going to do, which I thought is very inspiring for someone his age. I mean, he's my age, but, so yeah, I don't know, I just thought it was a really inspirational story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very neat.
really
He's a
neat.
student at North.
Yeah, he's a student at Northwood, yeah. And he says like he's still humble about like his whole experience because he was always called like the fat kid, so he just, stays humble about it. And he said he wants to like start an organization to help other kids like him, but he doesn't like know how to, I don't know, exactly introduce that to the world, so.
Questions, comments? That's a pretty tall, he's like a small person. Did it say how tall this kid was? Because that's very light for a high school boy
I
to
know.
weigh, like, that's not
Like,
very.
I know. Yeah, he said that like after he lost 105 pounds, which is a year ago,
Mhm.
he wanted to gain like muscle, so he started eating like more protein and
Yeah.
like working out like more.
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
like weights and things like that, so. Yeah, he thought it was a very good story. Especially because in Fort Wayne, I know we're like the top 5 city in like the country to like that's obese or something like that, yeah.
We used to be we used to be number 1, I think, when I was in high school. Yeah, isn't that, it's kind of embarrassing to be from have your hometown as the fattest city in the country.
But I just thought, that story was great.
Yeah, yeah. Great, thanks for sharing. Next, Maddie?
So, I don't know when this came out, but recently there was a documentary called Blackfish that was released. And it brings up controversy over the orca whale treatment in SeaWorld. So, like, the movie, I'm trying to think, I found this on NPR, so if they explain it better, but, it was a Sundance Film Festival movie, and, like, they say they take the orcas away from their family in the wild, and, like, they're not treated well there. Like, it's kind of like a circus environment, kind of. And people, like a little girl who was 10 years old found out about this, and she like canceled her school trip to go there. And so people are really upset about this, and it's just something that needs more, I guess, research about. And it's just another like animal like rights thing that we need to be aware of.
I saw the preview for that movie, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, every once in a while, they'll have something in the news about how a trainer was attacked by, one of these one of these killer whales, and it always sparks this big debate, and it's like, well, and it's horrible that it happens, but it's like, well, guys, he's a wild animal. Like, it's not, he's not supposed to be in captivity, doing tricks for kids, but, I mean, it's very cool that people can go and learn about them and see them, but I think, sometimes, bad things happen, obviously, when you take an animal out of its natural environment, so.
And SeaWorld hasn't said much like about the movie, but they say that the animals aren't harmed at all or anything, but I think it's just the, like you said, like taking them away from their family and them being a wild animal. They're not supposed to be in captivity.
Yeah. Well, and it sounds kind of cheesy to say, but killer whales are mammals. Who knows what their brains are like. They might have more going on psychologically than we think, and maybe they can get depressed like dogs, and maybe they miss their, who knows? It's hard to say, so. All right, thanks, Maddie. Any questions or comments for Maddie?
I wonder if they tried to put more SeaWorlds closer to the ocean, so they could have a part of the ocean as the aquarium.
That's a good idea.
Because
Yeah.
I saw that in Seattle.
That is a really good idea, Holland.
Yeah.
Seattle has something like that.
They have an aquarium.
Yeah, that's a good neat thing. Next page, and then Marie.
Okay, so the title of my article is Alleged Drug Dealers Call Cops After a Teen Stealing Marijuana. So I was a little bit amused by this because, they're calling cops about something that they shouldn't have been selling in the first place. But these guys' names were Sebastian and Anthony, and I can't pronounce either of their last names, so I'm just not gonna try. But they had been, they were in a Taco Bell parking lot in Ohio, where they had met up with a couple of teens that apparently they had been kind of like tracking and had been in communication with to sell marijuana to them. And when the police came, they told them that they were there to practice medieval sword fighting.
Likely story, babe.
Yeah, so Sebastian and Anthony are both being charged with, selling teens illegal marijuana. But the teens one had pepper sprayed the two guys and then ran off with $80 worth of marijuana. And so the teens haven't been found yet, and so I don't know if they are found, if they're going to be charged with anything or not, but the two other guys definitely are, so. Yeah.
Interesting story.
What a lovely story.
Oh, jeez.
You live in medieval sword fighting in a Taco Bell parking lot?
Yes, apparently.
I wonder if we'll be seeing this on YouTube soon. It seems like the kind of, it's just
There was like a
wacky
little
enough.
video above it with like people sword fighting, but it was like, I don't know, it looked like it was from like the Princess Bride movie or something, and it was like, run away.
That's so funny.
Huh, interesting. Big stage.
Mine's kind of depressing. So in Roswell, New Mexico, there was a shooting at a middle school by a 12-year-old boy. He shot an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old, and the 11-year-old is in critical condition, and then the 13-year-old girl was shot in like her right arm and armpit. And they know she'll be okay, but the other one, they're still not sure. It's just kind of like, how did the 12-year-old get a gun, and why did he want to shoot them? Like, they tried to talk to him, and he didn't say why. He just kind of walked into the gym and shot random people. So it's just like, usually there's a reason.
Did you know if he knew them personally, or if it was just
They think he warned his friends not to come to school that morning. Like, he knew he was gonna do it, but he didn't really
know who he was gonna shoot?
Yeah, he just chose random people. He didn't have any like plan. So I don't.
Makes you think he wants something going on
Then,
at home
and
or something.
like the titles, it says that like the middle school shootings are alarming experts, and the reason they're like shocked by it is because like he's so young, and they're starting to blame it on like video games because they're so violent, and usually when people die, they like come back in video games, and so it's hard for a 12-year-old to grasp like the concept that death is permanent, and that his actions have like consequences, and like everything he does affects other people. So there's a lot of people thinking about this, and I don't know, I think they're not sure how they're gonna like put him on trial, like if he's gonna be tried as an adult or as a like younger kid, because it is so like such a big crime. But yeah.
Where did he have the gun, did it say? Like,
It
where
said
he
it from
got
his house,
From his house, okay.
which I mean,
Obviously his parents. didn't
Yeah.
want
I know there was like a lot
but
of
like the parents were like completely shocked, and they talked about how like, the family like loves each other, and they have a really tight knit community, and they all like are praying about this, and it's just like they were completely shocked that their kid would do it.
It was hard.
Yeah, that must be one thing.
I was going to say, like, I know when we had like that Haley Elementary shooting, there was a lot of discussion about like, well, are we just like advertising this stuff too much because then it makes other people feel like they have to like one up that, and so I guess having all of the advertisement about it, and maybe not, advertisement might not be a good word, but that kind of seems like what it becomes after a while. Like having all those kids hearing about that and it being like drilled into their mind about all the stuff that's going on, I feel like that probably doesn't help much, even if it like video games is something that, I don't know, triggers like the, I don't wanna say desire to do it, that sounds terrible, but like, I just feel like that wouldn't help either.
Okay, that's about
Yeah.
shootings.
Yeah.
It just makes them kind of become like an evil celebrity, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my mom and I
Yeah,
talked
that's
about
very
that.
true, yeah.
She said that like once one person does it, a bunch of other people will like copycat it and try to make it worse, and
It's
like
like teen mom.
it's really
Sad.
Yeah, and not only that, but I don't know if you guys have seen, I think just in the last week or so, there have been 3 shootings around the country. There was the middle school shooting, there was a shooting at a grocery store in Elkhart, Indiana,
Yeah,
which is
I
about
read
an hour north of here. And I think there were 2 women who were shot, and I don't know, did they both die? Does anybody know?
Yeah,
They both died. One was a young woman who worked there, and then another was like a 40-year-old woman who was shopping there, but they don't know why the guy did it. They don't, they have no idea. And then where was the other shooting? In a movie theater, I think. I don't remember which part of the country there. Yeah, and that's scary. But grocery store, school, movie theater, it's like, where am I safe?
Yeah.
And maybe not. I know it's very disconcerting. Of course, I mean, I guess the one good thing is that they're few and far between. But it's like,
And the
these
people are just
school
choosing it
shootings.
random now. It's not like
Well,
just
right.
like, well, I haven't angered anyone recently. Like,
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, and
it's frightening.
I think
It's very
that
frightening.
I'm not gonna bring up like a whole nother can of worms, but the whole, Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, yes, you can, have a firearm, that's one of the amendments, but there are, consequences and conditions that
Sure.
come with that. And I don't think
Sure.
some people don't realize what's that doing, to affect other people,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, especially if kids can get a hold of them. So
because we want to have a gun and keep it away, like safe, and so that we know the kids can't get out.
yeah, definitely. All right, Matt.
That was depressing.
Sorry.
No, it's
Mine's about a Navy jet. It crashed into the Atlantic Ocean off the Virginia coast, and the pilot was ejected. So this just happened Wednesday, but a week ago it happened in the same general area with a Navy helicopter. And in the Navy helicopter, 3 people died. But it doesn't, they don't necessarily know yet about the pilot that crashed on Wednesday. It said it was kind of confusing because they were trying to talk about both crashes at in the same paragraph. So I don't know exactly which one, but I'm pretty sure the one that just happened. When he was ejected, he was ejected near it was only 15 off or some 15 feet off of the coast. So there were some fishermen out there, and supposedly helped him and took him to the hospital or something.
Oh, good. So he's still living.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't know, I'm sure he's in pretty critical condition considering the was in the jet. But they are having a memorial service today actually for the 3 that died a week ago, but they're kind of trying to figure out why in that general area, to maybe aircrafts went down. But the one thing about the fighter jet is that it was on a routine mine countermeasure training, whatever that means. It was in training, so it could have just been
Okay.
the
A
jet.
human error, or
Yeah.
maybe a jet malfunction or
But-
something.
So are they thinking it was a coincidence or that someone sabotaged it? Or?
Yeah, I have a feeling it was probably just a coincidence, the way they were talking about it. But that was an estimate, it was just a week later, and they're both Navy aircrafts. That went down.
Curse.
Yeah.
Alright. Other comments or questions? Alright. Marlene, you wanna go next?
Yeah, so mine's not about the guy in New Jersey.
Okay.
This one is about the West Virginia governor of the water ban. And what happened was last Thursday, it wasn't yesterday, but the Thursday before that.
And it says that 7,500, I think like gallons of 4-methylclindazole, methanol, has leaked out of storage, like a storage tank up the river into the American Water Plant. So, yeah, so 300,000 people can't use their tap water. They can't, the state is saying, hey, just use like water bottles to take showers.
Oh, gosh.
So, like, these poor people, and there's just like, they say that like there's some like military and they're just kind of like distributing water as like fast as they can, because you can't like turn the tap on unless you're like going to the bathroom or something, but it like can't touch you because like 10 people were already hospitalized, so.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And where is this, my name?
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Leave it to West for that to happen.
Yeah, poor West Virginia, they take a lot of, it's already a very poor area, and they have a lot going on.
We have nothing else.
Yeah.
There was methanol, something like chemical. Oh, and the chemical is used to clean coal.
Oof.
So it like seeps into the water plant and stuff.
How are they gonna clean it, did they say?
I have no idea because it didn't really talk about how it's gonna like fix it, but they're just like, hey, hold on guys,
Wow.
we'll get it solved.
Wait, when did it happen?
Just as like, not yesterday, but like the last Thursday before yesterday. So about 8 days ago.
And it's still not cleaned up.
Oh.
Oh
I can imagine that'd take a while.
How you live.
Yeah, water is definitely something you take for granted.
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm gonna get some water, I'm gonna take a shower. I mean, you just don't even think about it until you don't have it, and then it's just, I'm sure, horrible. So.
I don't know what you have until it's gone.
Exactly, yes, exactly. All right, you wanna go next?
Sure.
My current event is actually about a campfire that led to a massive wildfire that destroyed 1,700 acres in Los Angeles, California. They have now 3 people in custody who they believe had done it, though some are saying that a breeze had kicked up and caused the fire to start in the forest, so it may have been an accident. 2 houses have so far been destroyed, and 1 person has suffered minor burns. Yeah, and it says that these 3 men, their bail will probably be about $20,000 for each.
Are they thinking it was arson or they just?
I don't know. If it was, they say that it's the breeze that kicked up to cause the fire, so it could have been an accident, it could have been.
Yeah, or
Why would they
if
be
I know
involved in an
sometimes,
accident?
well, if there's like, you know, they have no burn zones, but then if people are doing campfires or something and they shouldn't be, then they can be arrested for, you know, so
Yeah,
that
it
might have
says
been.
here, 1 was a homeless guy, and then there were 2 other men that were tossing paper into a campfire that suddenly.
Oh, there we go, okay, so
Yeah,
it was a
spread.
campfire, yeah,
Yeah,
so
so,
that's
yeah.
probably why they're being held responsible for it, but, oh geez.
Yeah.
Lots of bad news.
We live in California.
Okay, well, that was the bell. Who did we not have? Was it just Olivia? So Olivia, we'll have you go on Monday with Lauren. Okay. All right, thanks for sharing, everybody.
Thank you.